Okay. Thank you, Madam Chairman. Mr. Markey, we feel your pain. We could take your statement and where you said left, we could put right. Where you said right, we could put left. Where you said Trump, we could put Biden. Where you said Biden, we could put Trump. Where you said oil and gas, we could put, say, cold and wind, solar and wind. I mean, under the Biden administration, one of the first things he did was nix the Keystone XL pipeline. And just like Mr. Booker said, there were union jobs working on that pipeline. There was pipe sitting next to an open trench ready to install. There were people who lost their jobs on the spot, just the way you described because of what President Biden did. And now the converse is happening with some renewable energy types. So we're in the same boat now. We have seen a Democrat administration under President Biden do the same thing that now you're complaining about. So what we do need is some certainty. And here's what I'm wondering. So here's what I want to talk to the panel about. Is there a difference between a small project?
I just want to add that Biden permitted public land, oil and gas permits faster during his 4 years on public lands than Trump did.
That
during
is
his
not
first 4
true.
years. It is
Come to Alaska,
It's
that's
100%
zero.
true.
Wait a minute.
And the
Truth to
country.
that.
It's Senator Lummis's time.
Yeah, and I would also point out that during that same time, quarterly oil and gas lease sales on public land were put a moratorium on them, contrary to federal law, and that the no coal on federal land, which is basically where all the coal in Wyoming comes from, was permitted. I mean, this is an apples to oranges, both sides treating the source of energy exactly the opposite. So here's what I'm wondering. If it's a small-scale project, should there be a different permitting process than for an industrial-scale project? Let me give you an example. So in my lifetime, I have seen a massive difference in the footprint of oil and gas on the surface of the ground because of horizontal drilling. You know, you used to have a lot more surface disturbance to produce the same amount of oil and gas. But when horizontal drilling became a thing, there's very little surface disturbance. The exact opposite has happened with wind and solar. The scale of these industrial wind projects and the industrial solar projects is massive. They are huge. And in a state like Wyoming, for example, we recently had a proposal for a wind project that covered 48,000 acres. Now, even in my big state, this is a massive scale of surface disturbance because there are all these little roads between every wind turbine, and we've had massive scale solar projects. Now, in our very thin topsoil, if you put down these blankets of solar panels where the sun can't shine through, two things happen. The soil doesn't grow anything, so the wind erosion in our tremendously windy state is blowing away what little topsoil we have under a 30-year permitted solar project. And the amount of fire prevention roads that have to be installed around an industrial scale solar project is massive because they tend to catch on fire. So there are environmental consequences that have, I think, in a lot of ways during my lifetime, tipped the scale to where what we need to be looking at in one way is just the scale of the permit. Is it 10 acres or 20 acres, or is it 48,000 acres? And if it is a small-scale project in terms of surface disturbance, we should have an expedited permitting process that doesn't go to the level of the Secretary of the Interior. But if it is an industrial scale project of any kind, whether it's oil and gas or coal or wind or solar, maybe it should rise to the scale of the secretary. Any comments?
I got a lot of comments. If I can. I mean, when it comes to, look, we're all looking about predictability, whether it's large scale or small scale, doesn't matter. We should allow for developers to determine, does it make sense to have a solar or wind farm in your state or any other state, not people sitting around this table to say, picking winners and losers. We are all of the above. We believe in wind and solar. We believe in nuclear. We believe in pipelines. We believe in natural gas. We believe in coal. We believe that those energy sources are what we need, and we believe in a predictable permitting process that allows, not just for energy infrastructure either. Right now, gateway tunnels, in the winds, sitting down the street at Pennsylvania Avenue, whether or not that project, an infrastructure project, a tunnel project in New York City, is going to be allowed to continue being built, where I have 400, 500, 600 members right now. So we got to take politics out of all of this. We've got to let the regulators regulate. We got to let keep the politicians out of this and have predictability, get rid of this chaos, and create jobs for Americans, create jobs for our members, create jobs for your constituents.
Well said, Mr. Booker. I yield back.